Twice a year, we put together an event that we call a code jam. The idea is simple. First, you complete a qualifier to show that you've got what it takes. Then we put you in a team with 4 strangers, using a technology that we choose and sticking to a theme that our community helps select. We give you 10 days to make something cool. For the Winter Code Jam of 2020, we asked our community members to make an app using the Kivy framework with the theme Ancient Technology. In case you're not familiar, Kivy is a great Python framework that allows you to make desktop apps, mobile apps, and even games. The Kivy core devs were present during the event and helped judge the event, and provided some great prizes for the winners. The winning team and the 2 runners-up received a total of $2,000 in DigitalOcean credits. They got t-shirts in their preferred sizes from Kivy, DigitalOcean, and from Python Discord. And they got 1-year premium licenses for their favorite JetBrains IDE. For this jam, we saw a lot of variety, partially thanks to how versatile the Kivy framework is, and also because of the theme, Ancient Technology, which can be interpreted in different ways. There were 3 main interpretations of this theme. The first was to make software that mimicked existing legacy software. The Paranormal Pioneers made a fully fledged Unix-style terminal with all the features you might expect to find, like creating files and folders and full navigation of the file system. Several commands were available, and they even included custom-made interpreters for the Forth and Brainfuck languages. The Inquisitive Investigators made an orthodox file manager called Rex Explorer, featuring a dual-pane layout like Norton Commander. Not only does it allow you to navigate and manipulate files, but also to view images and to easily view one directory in each pane, which among other things makes it possible to view both source and target when moving files from one place to another. This project was actually the 3rd place winner. The second major interpretation of the theme was to simulate a piece of old technology. Jurassic Journalists, for instance, created a simulation of an old typewriter. As soon as you start typing, you hear that classic typewriter sound, and the letters are spelled out on a piece of paper in front of you. You can backspace onto parts you've already typed on and type over them. You can use the mouse to draw onto the existing text as if with whiteout or Tipp-Ex. And you can even choose the color of the ink. Gutsy Gamblers made a sundial that shows icons to indicate when the sun will rise and set and which season we're in. They generously included a time travel feature so that the app would be more convenient to test. The app also allows you to set a location, or even to guess your location based on your IP. Wandering Warriors made a calculator that combines several ancient technologies. At the top, we've got this abacus to keep count, and in the bottom right, we find a sandbox to draw cuneiform numbers into as a primary means of providing an input. This cuneiform feature utilizes the Kivy gestures, which is a very clever use of the framework, and made quite an impression on the judges, who were all Kivy core developers. This app also features several themes, all rather pleasant looking, from redwood to iron. You can customize the number of beads on the abacus and choose which numeral system to use. A very unique and thematic submission, and one that very nearly made the top 3. Amphibian Alchemists chose to emulate an Enigma machine. This is an old encryption device used by the Nazis during World War II to encode or decode secret messages. It made use of rotors, a keyboard, and a plug board in order to configure which letters should be encoded or decoded into what. This submission is very thorough, providing all the features found in the actual Enigma machine. Even schematics were included into the README. And it attempts also to gamify the experience by having you crack a code before the timer runs out. It's graphically impressive, tense, and highly thematic. This was another submission that very nearly made the top 3. I highly recommend you give it a try. Links can be found in the description of this video. The third major interpretation of the theme was to focus on the word ancient. Brilliant builders created a platformer where the goal was for a caveman to light campfires. The campfires would then act as checkpoints. Few technologies, after all, are as ancient as the campfire. Meanwhile, the Kaleidoscopic Kings made a game similar to the popular Reigns, where you need to make narrative decisions in order to balance your resources. Jurassic Greg presents you with a series of often hilarious choices that will affect your health, food, water, and civility levels. The goal is to make decisions that will keep all of these in balance. If any of them runs out, the game ends. By filling that narrative with cavemen and dinosaurs, the team makes its submission more or less adhere to the theme. Litigious Liberators made pretty much the same thing, but their game starts with a personality test. Once the personality test is complete, the game chooses a character based on your choices for you to play, which determines the starting point of the game. After that, we see the same thing. You make narrative choices by swiping left or right, Tinder style, and attempt to keep your resources balanced. You can see the resources up at the top here. Oh, and there's a lot of dinosaurs here as well. In Hormonal Hedonists, The Legend of Archimedes, the players control a mirror cannon designed to reflect light from the sun onto an attacking fleet of enemy ships. The goal is to set their sails on fire before they can land in Greece and eat all your tzatziki. The game is a classic tower defense type game where enemies keep coming in and set lanes, and you have to switch between the lanes in order to take them out before they can reach you. It's a classic game style with a highly thematic twist. Microscopic Monks Primal is a top-down hunter-gatherer experience. It's basically Minecraft with a top-down perspective. The game world features multiple biomes, weapons, materials, and edibles that you can collect by breaking obstacles like trees and rocks in the game world. There's an inventory bar system where you can select and use items that you pick up. Fruit will refill your health, while wielding a weapon or a tool improves your gathering speed. Coming in second place for this code jam, we've got Circumstantial Companions with their exceptionally well-polished app called Chisel. In Chisel, you're given a slab of stone which you can chisel into. It's really that simple. It features localization to several languages. You can save and load chisel work. You've got multiple different slabs of stone that you can work with, and particle physics as the stone breaks apart into smaller pebbles. The team has kept working on this after the code jam ended, and the app now features multiple tools that you can use when chiseling as well. A very impressive submission that very nearly walked away with the win. And the winning submission for this code jam came from Tactless Tricksters. They made an app with a whole slew of features related to Morse code. The app design itself is slick. It implements Morse code visuals into every crack and crevice. The main menu background has scrolling Morse code. The logo has letters composed out of Morse code dots and dashes, and the user interface is consistent in its use of colors. Its most impressive feature is probably the ability to listen to and live decode Morse. Check it out. Cool, right? The judges particularly like how the app appears to scramble to find the right letter live in front of your eyes. You can, of course, also encode messages to Morse, either by typing them in or tapping them in. You can use the trainer to practice your Morse skills. The app will serve you either letters, words, or even entire sentences for you to decode, or even for you to try tapping them out for yourself. Settings can be calibrated, and many of the features can be found either through the main menu or by the context navigation drawer up in the top left, which makes the user experience for this app excellent. And as if that wasn't enough, this app even ships with a feature to allow you to create an account and sign into the server so that you can send messages to other users directly inside the app. Not only that, but these messages can be typed in or tapped in as Morse code, and then can be encoded or decoded by clicking on them to access a context menu. It's pretty slick. Overall, this code jam saw around 120 people sign up and around 20 teams in total. We're very grateful to those of you who participated in the jam and made all these excellent apps, and to our sponsors at JetBrains, DigitalOcean, and Linode, who contributed prizes and who make it possible for us to run the services that our community depend on. I'd also like to thank Kiwi for partnering up with us for this jam, and our patrons, whose generous donations to our Patreon are spent on additional prizes for these events. It takes a lot of work to put this together. We spend months every year volunteering our time in order to make this happen. And I'd like to extend a special thanks to the Kiwi core developers who helped make the judging process much more smooth, and who were available during the jam to answer Kiwi-specific questions, especially to you, Gabriel. If you'd like to join a future event, make sure to type !subscribe in the bot commands channel in order to sign up for announcements regarding events and other major news related to our community. I hope you enjoyed seeing what the community was able to build in such a short time with a bunch of strangers. Maybe it inspires you to try to make something in Kiwi, or to participate in one of our future events. We'll be running another one of these closer to the summer, so I hope to see you there.